Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Great Reddit Expedition. It is I, as always, your host, Ethan, and I am so excited to be back for this is the fourth episode now? Whole month of episodes being released. I am so glad that I have been able to do this, and that you all have been listening through. I appreciate that. Today, I've brought back an old friend. I've been told that a lot of y'all love him, so please give a warm welcome for Lance.
That was the wrong theme. That was the completely wrong theme.
I don't know what theme you were trying to play there.
I was trying to do your theme again, but I forgot it. I had already committed. I had to do it. Also, I like how we're old friends. This is like it goes back.
Yeah, well, we are old friends. We go back way back.
Well, I know. Just like on the podcast, that's like 2 weeks ago.
Well, okay, but
brought back someone from a long time ago.
Yeah,
way back in the day.
Back in the day. Used to be the way things were before the podcast times. But Lance, how are you doing today? How are things?
It's early. Still waking up. Sat there listening to my alarm for 15 minutes before actually getting up. Yeah. That pretty much means they're great. I cannot complain.
Alrighty, I'm glad.
Having a great time. What about yourself? I got my chunky monkey guy right here.
Chunky monkey?
I don't really know what he's actually called, but like, have you seen those videos online of the guy throwing the monkey down the water slide?
Yeah, that like silicone monkey. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. It's like I don't even know what you call this thing, but yeah, it's like that.
It's like the Stretch Armstrong of gorillas.
Yeah. I'm currently sitting here twisting it a whole bunch right now, and life couldn't be better.
Well, that's hilarious.
How about...
That's awesome.
Well, that is so gosh dang funny.
I am quite enthused.
How about yourself, Ethan? How are you today?
I'm good. Things are good. Life is good. We're good.
Oh, that's good.
I'll be even better, though, once we start reading a few of these stories here in a minute. I haven't even announced what the subreddit is. I was about to just jump right into the first story.
I don't even know today.
You know what? No, we're going to do that.
All right, here we go.
We're going to do that.
Oh, I have to guess?
I'm going to start with the story. I'm going to read it all the way through, and you have to try and guess what subreddit I'm reading from today.
Oh, man. Do I have to guess the name?
Yes. We'll have you do that. Or if it's close, I'll give it to you anyway.
Okay.
The first story comes from reasonable_novel 7440. The title: The Time My Love for Olive Garden Breadsticks as an 8-year-old led to one of the most embarrassing moments of my life.
Oh, is this restaurant stories? r/embarrassing restaurant stories?
It is not r/restaurant stories.
Okay, well, that was entirely a guess.
I don't even know if that subreddit exists.
That's probably not a thing, but I had to guess.
If it's not, I will make it a thing.
All right, fair enough. I respect that.
We're going to start with the story. Here we go. Allow me to set the scene. My family and I went out of state for the holidays to celebrate with my family. Majority of our family lives between Illinois and Wisconsin, whereas me and my immediate family live in Kentucky. So the only time we really see our more distant relatives is around the holidays. Because of this, we usually always go out for a nicer meal with family so we can talk and catch up on life. Unfortunately for me, this particular day's destination was Olive Garden. My love for pasta, garlic, and carbs is deeply rooted within my mom's heavily Sicilian side of the family. As soon as I found out we were going to Olive Garden, I was ecstatic. It wasn't something we did often because it was more expensive, so I fully intended on making the most of my experience that day, and boy oh boy, that's exactly what I did. With it being around the holidays, I'm sure you can imagine how crowded a place like Olive Garden would be. It took a while for us to get seated, and by the time we finally had a table, I desperately had to pee. If you think you know where this is going, I promise you don't. I wanted to quickly go so I could be back by the time they brought the breadsticks to our table. I asked my mom if I could go to the bathroom, and usually her or my dad would always walk with me to find the bathroom, but this particular day, I asked my mom, and she asked me if I felt comfortable enough to go on my own. All honesty, at 8 years old, that made me feel like I was finally a quote-unquote grown-up. So excitedly, I said yes, because that was the first time going to a public bathroom by myself was even an option. It took me a really long time to find the bathroom. I was wandering around for a bit, then I ended up asking a waitress to help me find it. She was super sweet and extremely helpful. However, I did not take into account I would have to find my way back to my table on my own. After I finished using the bathroom, I went to go find the table my family was at and was having no luck at all. It was honestly scary and overwhelming. So in an attempt to avert my attention, I thought, oh, my family's like super loud. I'll just listen for them, which to an 8-year-old felt like a foolproof plan. Spoiler alert, it was not. I aimlessly wandered around, mostly looking at the floor, and was trying to really hone in on my hearing abilities. However, in hindsight, I had none. Eventually, I heard a massive eruption of laughter and was like, that's it! That's my family! Side note, if you're wondering how my parents and family didn't realize I was gone for so long, I'm the middle child. I went toward them, but was still looking low, mainly to avoid eye contact with strangers at this point. And then I seen it. My empty chair and several baskets of breadsticks directly in front of it. I immediately sat and just started chowing down. Everyone was still laughing, so there wasn't really anyone for me to talk to because the person closest to my age was 13. I stayed in my own little world and enjoyed my breadsticks. After about 2 breadsticks, the entire table abruptly fell silent, like eerily silent. I looked up with a half-eaten breadstick clasped in my hand mid-chew, and to my surprise, I was surrounded by a black family with a large party of people. I'm noting they're a black family because, though I have a strong Sicilian background, I take after the Irish side of my family look-wise. And by that, I mean I make marshmallows comparatively look beige, which I feel paints a more humorous picture of the situation. They all blankly and silently looked at me as I froze in shock, not knowing what to do as an 8-year-old. Naturally, I panicked. I clasped 2 more breadsticks in my empty hand and ran for my life. Why? I honestly don't know, but that was my initial instinct. I ran through that Olive Garden with those breadsticks clasped in my fist, Naruto style, until I visually seen my family. The kicker? My family didn't even realize when I got back. Nor did they ever question why I was petrified, shaking, and looking at my 2.5 breadsticks as if they were a bloody murder weapon. I didn't tell my parents about what happened until a week later. This is easily one of the funniest childhood embarrassment stories, but I would give anything to know the perspective of the strangers I stole food from. I laugh so hard every time I envision what their point of view from the situation must have looked like. If you've read this far, I hope this makes your day a little more joyful, and if you do want something to take away from this, learn from my mistake. Just use your eyes when you're trying to find your restaurant table. LOL.
My first comment there is the kid's the middle child. I think that's a very important detail that he pointed out there, and really one that I think that influenced the whole rest of the story. Yeah, he's like, hey, can I run to the bathroom? His parents are like, yeah, sure, get out of here. And then like he comes back and I wonder if they recognized him. I bet you that's why his parents always walked him to the bathroom, is because they would forget like he existed otherwise.
The fact that they were the middle child.
And I bet you like he came back and they're like, who are you? What are you doing at our table? Or I guess that's what happened anyway, just with a different family.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the entire family did that anyway.
I mean, I guess as an 8-year-old that makes a little more sense, but like I just cannot register how you would do that. But that's so funny.
For like an 8-year-old to not be paying attention, I feel like that is really out of the norm. Like I feel like 8-year-olds have this wiry attention span. Like it's not, they can't sit still. They're constantly looking around. They have more energy than everyone else at the table. I feel like it would be weird for him to not be looking where he was going.
Okay, but think about this. You're an 8-year-old. You are a carb-obsessed fiend, and you are in carb heaven. And yeah, he's hungry. And not only is he hungry, but he left right before they're about to bring out the best part of the whole meal, the free part.
So all he was thinking about was them breadsticks.
All he was thinking about was the breadsticks. And what he saw was a table with a lot of people, free seat, and breadsticks. And he thought, oh man, that's me.
You know what? Yeah, that's fair.
It didn't matter what else was at the table, because in his mind, it was the breadsticks.
As a resident fat guy, I can understand from his perspective. Food is most important. We go for the food first.
That's right. And that's why we trust fat people with food.
Because they'll go for that before anything else. Yeah. I also want to point out too, he said he's middle child, right? Also mentioned that the person closest to their age was 13 years old. That's a 5-year difference, meaning up or down, negative or positive on the timeline. The next younger child, they are 3 or younger.
Well, I mean, to be fair, usually when when you're talking about a cousin closer to your age, you don't really take the younger ones into account as much. At least I never have.
Maybe I'm just the odd one out
At least
there.
not to that degree. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, you do, but at 8, you probably don't take into account, like, 13 to 3 is the age gap here. Like, I don't know. They could be, like, 5 or something.
I don't know. That was what my brain focused on when they were like middle child, but the next oldest is 13. I was like, dang, that's a huge age gap.
Is it the next oldest in the whole family or just in his family?
It just says the person closest to my age. So that could have been with the extended family included.
I'm thinking that's got to be with the extended family included, because if it's like cousins and everything, then that's where like my thinking comes in my mind. But yeah, I don't know if it's siblings, then definitely take into account age gaps a little more.
I want to read one of the comments here. Says, come on down to the Olive Garden, because when you're here, you're family, no matter which one you sit with.
Is that Olive Garden's slogan?
Yeah, Olive Garden's slogan is when you're here, you're family.
Okay, I thought so. That sounds right. No matter which one you sit with.
I actually, that last part, the commenter added that in themselves. But I found out that this was Olive Garden's slogan because of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. That entire movie was funded by sneaky little sponsorship ads. Like throughout the whole movie, you can see like Zell ads. Or is it Zell? Is Zell the one that's like the house hunter?
I think so. That sounds right. I think that's Zell, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I can't think of any other examples off the top of my head, but they mention Olive Garden a lot. Like one of the main characters outright quotes the slogan when he's talking to his wife. Like it's a whole ordeal that Olive Garden is a big part of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I was so confused over that line, I had to Google it. And that's how I found out Olive Garden's slogan was, when you're here, you're family.
They should have a promotional at Olive Garden for the Sonic movie where they serve chili dogs. I would go to an Olive Garden for a chili dog.
Yo, chili dogs at an Italian restaurant?
Probably not, but I'd go. Wait, I got an idea. It's a special chili dog, okay? So you take this chili dog and you build it in a Olive Garden breadstick. But like it's like a Thickums Olive Garden breadstick, okay? So they got to make specialized breadsticks for this. Bun sticks, if you will. And they make their bun sticks, and then they get the hot dog. It's like a high quality Italian sausage, okay? So they take this, they cook it up, throw it on there, bada bing, bada boom, and you cover that with your chili. Except you make it a white sauce chili, and then you sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top there, or, just whatever. No, a 5-cheese Italian mix, and you do that on top, and then you garnish it with some basil, pesto, whatever. Boom. Promotional Olive Garden chili dog.
A Sonic the Hedgehog promotional chili dog from Olive Garden.
Yep.
Just because I want it to exist, we should make that.
We should.
We should grill up hot dogs and make a white sauce chili to put, and just be like, Olive Garden, here, we've done it.
Olive Garden, this is for you. We've already done all the hard work. Now all you gotta do is take it.
Come on, man. We're giving you ideas. You just gotta start implementing.
We accept we'll take a small fee of 2 cents per chili dog.
Small fee.
We will be charging royalties because this is a brilliant idea. But when you make billions of dollars off this, then
are we splitting the 2 pennies? So it's a penny for each of us?
Yeah, we each get 1 penny
per chili dog.
We're splitting that 50-50.
Dang, 50-50 profits? That's pretty good. All right, sign me up.
Yeah.
How can I be a part of that?
I know, right? I know. You already are.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Bro for gore. I think that's a great idea. So anyway, I want to guess this subreddit now.
Guess the title of this subreddit.
I'm guessing it has something to do with like mixing up families or something.
Like confused family stories?
Yeah.
No, that is not it. Do you want me to tell you what it is, or would you rather me give you another story to go off of?
Give me another story to go off of, and if I don't get it after that one, then
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. From user That One Volcano, titled this story, I accidentally told my brother the truth while trying to lie.
I hate when I do that.
I know, right? Such an accidentally truth.
Do you never do that? I do that all the time. I'm like, oh man, the sky sure isn't blue today. Oh dang it, it is blue. Oh.
Oh, you're the liar here. You just naturally lie. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, sometimes, maybe a little bit.
See, I'm the kind of guy that's like, oh shoot, would be a shame, sure, if the Earth was round. Oh shoot, it is. Oh crap, I
Oh
messed up.
man, oh no, oh
Oh
no.
dang
Dang,
it.
Ethan, I didn't know we were stepping on to controversial topics today.
This ain't no controversy. It's fact.
I don't know. According to some people, this might be pretty controversial
I
here.
don't know. Everyone involved in the moon landing would disagree. Oh shoot, the moon landing. Oh
Oh,
shoot, that being
oh,
true as
dang it.
well. Oh
Oh
no.
wow. Yeah,
Wow.
you're really messing this up right now. I don't know. We just had like 600 people click off.
600? How many people do you think listen to this
Like
podcast?
604.
Oh, you're right, minus 600.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Minus 600. That's exactly what I've been saying.
That's like your common catchphrase. You're just like, yeah, that minus 600.
Let's start saying that.
That's
All
always
right,
the
let's hear
answer.
the story.
Okay, as a little kid, I lied a lot. I was always curious about things, so I'd learn a lot, and I loved when people gave me attention for knowing things. So when I ran out of fun facts, I'd make them up. When I was about 9 or 10 and we watched Lord of the Rings, I absolutely loved it, and so did my brother. He kept commenting on how cool the Balrog looked and how powerful it was. So I said, yeah, they're cool, but the big bad dude before Sauron had like 10 of them as his own bodyguard. Cut to about 6 years later, and I read the Silmarillion for the first time. Lo and behold, I was right. The numbers were off. I think Tolkien said there were about 7 at most, but I was right. I stopped my white lies by that time, as I grew up and could look up fun facts on the internet, but I have been riding that high ever since.
Okay, now I'm even more confused about what this subreddit could be because that's a completely different story. Except yeah, I am noticing I am drawing a similarity in that it's about a kid.
Yeah, I mean, it still involves a family.
Both the stories happened when they were kids. Is that related?
Oh, that's a good guess, but no, it has nothing to do with their age. It has nothing to do with age or family.
Really? See, those are the only two similarities I'm drawing here.
I can see if I can find a different story that has nothing to do with either of those, see if that will help you.
Okay, okay.
Before I find one, there's only one comment on this post. This post was made a month ago. It says, when I was young, I overheard my siblings talking about sushi. I had no idea what sushi was except that it was gross, so I said, sushi? Ew, I'd rather eat raw fish. And I will never forget that till the day I die.
You know, props to that. Like, you just know that when that kid said that, they were so confident in what they said. They were like, sushi? No, I would rather eat raw fish. Like, nah, I never.
Yeah, ew, gross. Calamari? Oh, no, just feed me an octopus instead. Oh,
Oh, goodness gracious,
nasty.
absolutely not. And you just know one of the parents was standing right there as well, just like, okay,
Parents just looking at their child like, how did we end up
just
here?
just laughing to themselves the whole
What
time.
did we do?
Point A to point B. What happened here? Oh, that's awesome. What the heck? Okay, now I feel like I have to address one of my other deepest, darkest secrets here.
Oh, story time?
No, not really, not really. This is more of a confession about the first story.
Oh, is it really a
Um,
confession?
a confession, yeah. I have not seen Lord of the Rings.
What?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm gonna probably be watching it soon, but I have never seen Lord of the Rings.
Hey, well, it's a whole day ordeal. I mean, you have to set aside for time for second breakfast. You have to get the extended editions, so that's another, an additional 8 hours. One right after the other. You gotta add the Hobbit movies into just for the extra lore.
Oh, I've seen The Hobbit.
Oh. How have you seen The Hobbit but not Lord of the Rings?
Here's a flex. In sixth grade, when the last Hobbit movie came out, we had a friend who rented out a movie theater and invited us, and I got checked out of school early that day to go see The Lord of the Rings. And I remember walking out of class, and everyone's like, Lance, why are you getting checked out? And I'm like, I'm going to see the new Hobbit movie. And everyone's like, that doesn't come out for like 3 more weeks. And I was like, I know, I'm going to see it anyway. And I felt so cool walking out of that class.
Well, that's fun. That's that you got to see The Hobbit early.
Yep. I got to see I got to see The Hobbit early back in 6th grade. Truly a great moment.
I know the feeling because I got invited to watch the 9th Star Wars movie a day early, and like that feeling of I get to see this before anyone else has seen the movie, that is like a high you will never be able to achieve a second time in your life.
I mean, you can. You just got to go see another movie early, which is easier said than done because usually it's very expensive.
Yeah, I don't feel like it happens very often unless you are like involved in the movie industry.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Anywho, I found there's one more post. We'll read this one, and then if you don't get it, I'll tell you what the subreddit is. But this one was actually originally posted on r/confessions and then was reposted to this subreddit. So this might help you determine what the subreddit is.
Oh,
This one is called I Threw Gum at Someone's Face. This is from Marshall129. Alright, it says, first time posting, so I hope I did this correctly. This happened in the 90s. I want to believe I was around 9 to 10 years old. I was out and about with the family. I'd been chewing gum for hours and wanted to get rid of it. I went outside of the building we were at to look for a trash can. My little brother, about 6 years old at the time, followed me out and asked me what I was doing. I tell him we both noticed this van stopped waiting for the light to turn green. It was one of those vans with no windows in the back, and for reference, the driver's side of the van was facing us. My brother dares me to try to throw the gum to get it to stick to the side of said van. Bet! So I take the piece of chewed up gum in my hand, I press it in between my thumb, index, and middle fingers back and forth to test its stickiness. It's still pretty sticky still, so I decide to throw it pretty hard to get it across the 2-lane street. After a few seconds of calculating, I come to the realization that I use the underhand throw to get some air. I throw it in lofts through the air into the driver's open window, and it hits him square in the face. Upon seeing that it went through the window and about to connect with the driver's left cheek, my brother and I bolted back into the building. Whew, I have never really spoken about that out loud much. It's kind of nice to get it off my chest. To the man I hit in the face with the gum, I'm so sorry. I swear it's been eating away at me for 30 some odd years.
that feels like the kind of story that you do when you're young. You do it, you're messing around, and it's like something that's like it may have annoyed someone in the moment momentarily, but long term it has no effect. But for some reason you just never forget it. So like you just know that this guy's been thinking about this for years. His conscience has never let him live this down. But by now, if that guy who got hit in the face with the gum went and read that story, he probably would not register that it was him. Even if he knew more details, like, oh, they were driving down this route to this building at this day at this time, like, the driver would be like, oh, haha, funny story. Like, they'd have no idea. This poor man who just wrote the story is like, man, I need forgiveness. I need to move on with my life.
You know, playing devil's advocate here, though, the driver has been seeking revenge for years. He wanted to know exactly who threw the gum in his face. He's like, oh, that ruined my whole day. I got gum in my face. I was fired from work later that day. I need to find whoever's responsible for throwing this gum. They ruined me. And it's been like 30 odd years before he told the story. This guy is like the driver now. He's like 50 or 60 years old. He's still looking. He reads the story on Reddit and he's like, I finally found you. I know what must be done. And he like storms out the door. It's a Liam Neeson situation. I know who you are, and I will find you, and I will throw gum in your face.
Okay. I mean, you know what? Maybe that's what happened. I can't say one way or the other. I don't know the second half of this story. You know what? Maybe how long ago was this posted?
This was posted about a year ago.
We'll see.
Originally.
We don't even know. There might not be a second part, all because there's no author to write the second part.
There's no one to give us an update because they still have gum on their face.
Oh, no, I was gonna say the guy who got gum on his face found him.
No, that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
The author can't because he has gum on his face.
He has gum on his face, covering his mouth, prevent him from speaking. He's been silenced.
All right. So any guesses?
R/Liam Neeson.
It's not r/Liam Neeson.
Okay.
Although, how does that relate to the other two stories we've read?
You know,
r/Liam Neeson.
I'm sure he likes Olive Garden breadsticks, And I'm pretty sure I heard something once that he was like he voiced a horse in Lord of the Rings or something.
Did he?
No, maybe he was in Lord of the Rings, but I doubt he voiced a horse.
I don't think he's ever voiced a horse.
I mean, that's up for debate. Maybe he was like in My Little Pony or something. I'm looking it up now. Oh, I don't know if he ever voiced a horse, but he does say that a horse remembers him from previous films.
Oh, I did hear about this. Yeah. He was in like a Western film or something like that, and he rode a horse on set, and then later did a different show. I don't know what the second show was, but that show had horses in it, and they got horses from the same ranch that did the Western movie, and that horse remembered him and was like still friends with him. It's a fun read. I'll find it and send it to you after this, but it's a very interesting read.
That's epic. Anyway, what do I actually think this is? r/childhood stories? No, you said it doesn't have anything to do with that. r/guilty conscience?
No, unfortunately not. The answer that we were looking for is r/silly confessions.
Oh, man. You know, those are all pretty silly.
They're all really silly confessions.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better to know that they know that they're silly.
It's something that's supposed to be a humorous situation. Honestly, though, the fact that those were all their childhood or family related stories is complete coincidence. Like, I curated the selection just thinking, oh yeah, these are silly. I had no thought in my mind that any of these could be related that way. On r/silly confession, this is where people want to confess something, they want to share a story from their past, have a clear mind of conscience, but the story maybe necessarily isn't serious or have any negative implication. It's just something that is kind of goofy, kind of silly to everyone else, but it means something to the author.
I love that.
In that vein, here's a short story from user formal-ad 8037. It's called I Used to Think That a Christmas Carol Was Written by the Muppets.
You know what? I wouldn't even be mad.
Yeah, right? In my opinion, that's the best version of A Christmas Carol.
It's up there. It's up there.
Okay. I used to think that A Christmas Carol was written by the Muppets generally. Growing up, it was the only version I knew, and it wasn't until later that I found out Charles Dickens wrote it, and I've since read the book. I now can't believe I thought the Muppets wrote it, especially when I look back on the film and it talks about Charles Dickens.
Oh, is that it?
That's the whole story. Yeah, sorry. I told you it was short.
I guess that's true. You did say that. What the heck? I mean, to be fair, to a kid, you aren't really going to register, oh, they talked about Charles Dickens in there.
It's not something you're going to focus on when you're watching a movie about frogs and pigs and weird monster puppets all running around telling the story of Christmas.
It's like for like 3 years or something, for quite a while, maybe not 3 years, it was probably like 3 months, but I feel like it was longer. Anyway, I thought that Five Nights at Freddy's was just a Minecraft minigame.
Are you serious? You didn't know it was a real game?
Yeah. No, I didn't know it was a real game. I just thought it was a mini game in Minecraft because I saw the Diamond Minecart play the Minecraft Five Nights at Freddy's mini game, and I was like, oh, that's kind of an interesting Minecraft mini game. But then like I kept hearing everybody talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, and I was like, what's up with this Minecraft mini game? It wasn't that cool. Like, it was all right, but like, why is everybody talking about this? And then everyone is raving about this new Minecraft mini game. People I didn't even know knew what Minecraft was. And then like, however long later, I saw iBallistic Squid make a video of actual Five Nights at Freddy's. And then I was like, yo, they made a game off the Minecraft game? What? And then I came to find out that was actually just the original game.
Your first thought wasn't, oh, they made this in Minecraft based off the thing. No, it was, oh, they made the thing in Minecraft real.
Yeah, no, seriously, that's what I thought. I was like, what? This Minecraft minigame is that big? So, I mean, I don't even remember the story. Oh yeah, Charles Dickens. I totally get where he's coming from. I totally get it.
We're jumping back to the Christmas Carol now after Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well, like, I mean, they can make a Five Nights at Freddy's Christmas Carol crossover.
Oh, I would watch the heck out of that.
Gregory, I am the ghost of Christmas future.
Why did you say that like the guy from Breaking Bad? Gregory, we need to cook.
I don't know why. That was just my default Freddy voice. Gregory.
Default Freddy is Walter.
It's Walter White.
Walter
Gregory,
White.
where'd you put my pizza? Barry, it's fun time. Get in the ball pit.
Yo, Freddy, it's on the roof, dog.
Barry, shut up. What's the alligator's name?
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've looked at Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I don't even know.
There's a comment for this story though. There's again only one comment, but I want to read it. The original poster, the author, responded to this one.
And then please be my guest.
So it says, "So wait, do you mean you thought that the Muppets were real people? That like Kermit the Frog wrote it or something?" And then the original poster responded with, "Yeah, exactly. I thought that Kermit the Frog was a real character." I've since read the proper novel though. So like they fully believed that like Sesame Street and Muppets and things like wandered the street.
I mean, I don't know. When you go to some cities, they might. Like you're over in Detroit, you might get shanked by Elmo in back alley or something.
Shanked by Elmo? I'm sorry, what? Okay, next story. This story is actually shorter than the previous one, but it does have an update to it. So
okay.
This one is called "I just ate a chocolate ice cream cone that's been in my freezer for a year. Wish me luck." This is from user Eden's Keeper 1.
That freezer burnt cone.
All right, so what do you think?
Oh, that's it.
That's the whole that's the whole story. The title is exactly the same as the story. Yep.
I thought okay.
Yeah. I told you it was short.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I thought you just read the title.
I did read the title. Yep.
I guess you did, huh? Because you said it was the same.
Yeah, that's the whole story.
Okay, I don't know. That's about my thoughts on it. That's a freezer burnt cone, but like that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
You know, if you want little ice shards on your ice cream, you leave it in the freezer for a year. Let it get freezer burnt.
Yeah, you know what? Everyone's got their different idea of how they like their ice cream, and some people like it, cold. Some people like a melted puddle. Some people like actual ice cube.
There's a comment here that reads, "I'm a firm believer that anything in the freezer is still good forever, as long as the packaging is intact." My husband does not agree.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite go with that.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't think. Like, a freezer is meant to make food last longer, not last forever.
I mean, unless you were talking like permafrost, even then I wouldn't, like, if I was in Antarctica right now and I found a slice of pizza perfectly preserved in ice 2,000 feet under the ground, and like I knew there wasn't any, like, if it was somehow just under the circumstances of a regular freezer and I didn't have to worry about like prehistoric bacteria and all that kind of stuff, and like it being incredibly soggy, I still wouldn't want to eat that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right, I'll read the update for this story though.
Oh yes,
about 6 months ago. So the update says, "I'm officially a werewolf." That's the whole update. r/silly confession. Thank you. Appreciate the story. Moving on.
All right. Dude's officially a werewolf.
Yeah, dude is officially a werewolf.
I do appreciate the update. I am confused by the update, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know how eating year-old cookie dough makes someone a werewolf. Sorry, it wasn't cookie dough. That was chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
I don't know how eating year-old chocolate ice cream you found at the back of your freezer turns you into a werewolf, but now we know. Now we know. So
makes enough sense to me.
Make sure you got your silver on stock.
That's right.
All right. This next story comes from Ostentatious Sock. The title is "The Ship Horns on Disney Cruise Liners Give Me the Willies."
Oh.
All right. I don't know why, but they creep me out. They play well-known Disney songs with the horns, but since they are ship horns, they are a very low-note version, and I think that's why. They play "Be Our Guest," "Hi Diddle Dee Dee," "It's a Small World," "Yo-Ho, a Pirate's Life for Me," "A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes," and "When You Wish Upon a Star." I live right by a port where they sail out from, and my sister and I love to go down to the port and watch the ships make way. All the happy people waving as they head off on their vacation is lovely and wholesome. This one time, though, they didn't play just one of the songs as they usually did. They played 3 in a row. It's like they knew I hated them and played a bunch just to torment me. There's a video of the horns in the comments.
See, I don't have any experience with that. I mean, I've been on a cruise, but not one where we had Disney songs being blasted on low frequency horns.
I sent you the aforementioned video that was linked in the comments. For our audio listeners at home, I'm sorry you're not going to be able to see this. You can search it up on YouTube. It's called the Disney Dreamship Horn with Familiar Disney Melodies. It's on the channel Disney Parks, so you can look it up yourself if you are truly interested in hearing what these sound like. But yeah, I did watch the video. I did listen to the horns, and yeah, they are a little bit eerie. They're very deep, like low versions of the song, but I don't think that makes them like creepy, like this author is alluding to.
I want to hear it. I'm listening to them right now. I want to hear them just hold out every note just a little longer, and I want this like middle of the night.
So you're trying to terrify people.
Yeah, like, dude, it's a small world, but hold out every note. Just, you know what? Just double every note.
Just a little bit longer.
But I mean, I can understand where the author's coming from. They're not like, I don't know. They're kind of weird.
They're not right. They also don't play like the full song or like a full like section of the song. They play like It's a Small World. Like those words and the notes to them, that's all they play. They don't play It's a Small World After All, which is what most people would know it as. And I think that contributes partly to what the author is talking
Can you
about.
imagine playing the entire song on ship horns?
Dude, that would honestly be so epic. I would love to hear...
Yeah, I'd actually be so down for that.
I would love to hear A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes played entirely on ship horns.
That'd be kind of sick.
A full 3 minutes of non-stop horns.
I don't know why that sounds so much cooler than like the little bit we do have. Because like that's basically what we do have, but we're like it's kind of weird. Now we're like, I want to hear the entire song. You got to commit. I think that's what it's about.
I saw a video once of a different cruise liner that played Seven Nation Army as it pulled into the dock, and that song fit for how deep and how low the horns are. That definitely fit, and it was really cool to watch. This one, I was honestly just a little disappointed to hear the horns play.
Oh, well, I like that. That's a good story.
So there's this one from the author Crazy About Logic. He's called I Am Scared of Almost Nothing Except for the Glaucoma Testing Machine at the Eye Doctor.
All right.
This one says, ever since I was a kid, I have dreaded this machine. All it does is puff a little bit of air into your eyes to test for glaucoma, and I am high risk, so I need it tested, but it terrifies me. I try to talk myself into getting it done every single time I have an eye appointment, and I always chicken out. There's another test for glaucoma where they can poke your eye with a probe, and honestly, I think I can handle that better than I can handle the eye puffing thing. I don't think I'm a coward. I'm fine with blood tests, operations. I was even awake for one operation where they cut open my hand. I watched the whole thing. It was fascinating. But that horrible machine scares the crap out of me.
I don't know what the glaucoma machine is.
Oh, yeah, because you don't have glasses.
Well, I do have glasses.
Oh, so you do know what the glaucoma machine is.
Which one is that?
That's the puff of air test.
Oh, I don't know.
So either you don't have glasses or you're lying to me.
No, I don't know. Gotta remember, I got my glasses from some volunteer group showing up in the middle of the desert.
Sure.
What?
All right. Well, if you're gonna commit this heavily to the bit, I guess I can explain to you what a glaucoma test is.
Yeah.
So for you and all our other audio listeners at home, thank you very much, by the way. There is a test where when you go to the eye doctor, they can sit you down in front of this machine. It has this like visor you put over your eyes, and you rest your chin on this little headrest kind of a thing. You have to look through this visor, and there's this little blurry picture of a hot air balloon, or at least it was a hot air balloon at one point. They've since changed it at some places I know. But there's this little picture, and they tell you to look down the visor at the little red spot, whether that's a barn or a hot air balloon or whatever it is now. Look at the little red spot, and then it shoots a puff of eye into your... Wow. It shoots a puff of eyes.
It shoots a puff of eyes?
No, it shoots a puff of air into your eye. And what this does is it tests for glaucoma, which is a vision loss disease. That's like the nerve that connects your eye to your brain can become damaged and start breaking apart over time. And so they do this puff of eye test to make sure that your eye still notices everything it's supposed to.
It's not the one that they change out the lens like every like, okay, is one better or is two better?
No, that is a standard optical test. That's just how they tell what prescription of lens you need. That is a completely different test.
See, that's what I thought. This all sounded familiar until you said the puff of air. I have no recollection of puff of air.
Why do you feel the need to lie? This is a safe space. We can be real here. You don't have to. We need to get that guy from the other story in here who accidentally told the truth.
I'm trying to be vulnerable about not feeling the puff of air, and you're accusing me.
Maybe you do have glaucoma. Maybe that's what's happening, and you're just trying to deny it so that you don't have to pay the insanely high surgery fees.
I'm in denial. I'm in denial of my glaucoma. No.
We've learned something new today, ladies and gentlemen. Lance will be blind within the next 6 months.
Man, is it that fast?
I have no idea. I made that up on the spot.
Well, I guess I'll see you around. Just kidding. No, I won't. Oh.
No, you won't. Oh, dear. That's so unfortunate.
Why'd you just... Oh, goodness gracious.
There's a comment here. It says, "Thank you for saying it. I'm terrified of that thing. I haven't gone to the eye doctor in over a decade, despite my age-related declining vision. I just can't do the puff, and I felt so embarrassed the last time when I couldn't keep my eye open for it. When they tell me, just relax, it's really not that bad, it doesn't do anything to help. It just makes it so much worse." Someone said something about Valium. Can eye doctors prescribe Valium for the visit? And then the OP responded to that one, but I don't want to read that.
Is it a big puff of air?
It's not like a huge. It's noticeable. It's a little uncomfortable puff of air. Sorry for the audio listeners at home, but it's as if somebody just came up to your face and went.
Okay. I'm imagining it. Slight discomfort. Dang, that was rough.
Everyone who isn't the author has that exact same reaction.
I can understand. Like, oh, I don't know. See, the thing is while you were reading that, I was cringing at like all the surgeries he was mentioning and like watching the open hand surgery. I was like sitting over here like,
Yeah, no, that was awful.
I got one surgery once that I was awake for, and I just sat there like I mean I couldn't really feel it, just feel what was happening, and I was like, sitting there playing Clash of Clans on my phone. No, it was terrible. It was terrible. I hated it, and it wasn't even that long. It was like 5 minutes, but I hated the whole thing. So I gladly take a puff of air over that.
It's not I mean, if they do test for glaucoma, they have to do the surgery anyway. All right, this is the last story for the episode. This one is by user Shallow End of the Pool, but shallow is spelled SCHALOW.
Alrighty.
The title of this story is "This Happened About 10 Years Ago." So, I was on a camping trip in the Rockies with my youth group, and at the campsite we hiked all day to get to, I was gallivanting around exploring the area's resources. Namely lamb's ear, what I incessantly believed to be lavender, probably wasn't though, to be honest, and rocks. One such rock I found was a flat brown rock that I foolishly believed to contain iron, based solely on the texture and it being iron color. I decided to test the theory by sticking it in the fire for a while to see if the ores would heat up and start to glow. After a few minutes of nothing happening, I decided it was time to take it out of the fire, which I did by nudging it out of the flames with a nearby stick. That was my smart moment. The next moment was not so smart, as maybe 5 or 10 seconds after doing so, I tried to pick it up by pinching it between two very exposed fingers. Fortunately, the river was just a short sprint down from a small hill, so I was able to tend to it ASAP. A couple of days later, on one of our hikes, I decided that I should try to pick a cactus leaf to take home as a souvenir. Figuring that handling cactus leaves would be hazardous due to their spines, I located one that appeared to not have any spines that would stick me, and grabbed it with the same fingers I had previously burned on the rock. I had a little heart-to-heart with myself after this happened, because tiny cactus needles that I couldn't see on the leaf went into my fingers.
I've been there. Had cactus needles all over my feet, in my fingers. Yeah, that's no fun. That's terrible.
With the burned fingers.
And burned fingers. That's true. Yeah.
Man, that pain. That must be excruciating. That is.
It's more of the kind of thing that's awful. Like a slight annoyance the whole time.
I'm just imagining, like, I don't know how bad the burn was, but like the raw skin touching the spines of a cactus. Like, the spines of a cactus already hurt to touch if you get them like stuck in your finger, but having the raw burned skin like that makes me physically cringe.
No, don't like that. don't like that.
Alrighty. Well, Lance, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Oh,
I really enjoy having you here. It's a great time every single time we do this.
thank you very much.
Seriously? Yawning in the middle of my praise? Really?
I actually didn't yawn. Okay, though.
Oh. Okay.
Wow. Ooh.
Well, thank you. I really do like having you on here. So thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you to our audio listeners at home. If you listen to the story all the way through, or this podcast episode even, if you listen to it all the way through, I very much appreciate that. Thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing week ahead.
Are there comments on podcasts?
Are there comments?
Yeah, like can they comment?
There's a whole Q&A section that you could go and look at if you feel so inclined, but that is only on the Spotify version. If you listen to this on Apple Music, YouTube Music, or Amazon Music, I'm so sorry, you will not be able to leave a response to what you think about the episode. If you do listen on Spotify, however,
To the Spotify listeners, go ahead and comment your silly confession down there so we can read them. And if you're not on Spotify, comment your silly. Just go tell your mom about your silly confession. She'll think it's funny.
yeah, go tell your moms your silly confessions. Lance, do you want to plug your social medias again?
I always like giving myself a shameless plug. At Flamingo Kingo on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever you like to use. It don't matter. Come and join me for some fun games and anything else. I got Ethan on there a couple times. And yeah,
I've been on there. I've been on his YouTube channel a couple of times, and it's been fun. It's really, we have entertaining times. Definitely go check him out. But again, thank you so much for listening. I hope you all have an amazing week, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.
bye. Oh wow. Ugh.